It's 10:28, so we're already in the second part. No, the first the part of the day. We're already back into the second day. Saturday's the seventh day. Then you got Sunday, the first day. Then Monday, the second day. So we're already in the second day, literally. Okay. Um. And Elohim said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters." Look up, you see the firmament. And let it divide the waters from the waters. Rain comes down, you got doorways of the heavens. It makes sense that the stars, or the angels, if you will, or the wandering sailors, as they call planets, which is angels, like wandering spirits, literally. If a person's in a boat or a ship in the sea or on the waters and they're wandering, they're kind of like drifting. They have either a destination to go for times and seasons or whatever. They have a certain position, as you will, but they're in a traveling state of being. That's what they're doing. Anyways, hallelujah. So yeah, let the waters divide the waters from the water, or excuse me, let it divide the waters from the waters. And Elohim made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And Elohim called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And Elohim said, "Let the waters under the heaven, right? Um, be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And Elohim called the dry land earth. Genesis 1:10. And the gathering together of the waters called he sees. Called he sees. There's a vision that goes along with this, calling those things that be not as though they were. Because life and death are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it eat the fruit thereof. So let this mind be in you that is also in Hamashiach Yahushua, or Christ Yahusha. Right? So, and Elohim saw that it was good. So, this being said, the waters that are gathered together, seas as we call them, oceans now, and stuff like that. Yeah. So the theory of the round ball is a lie. It doesn't exist in that. It's false. The Earth has foundations. Everybody knows this, and I'm not doing this because everybody else is making videos. I've been doing this before I started listening to a lot of these people's videos. I actually listened to more ex-Freemason master masons and people who most people were just like, they're all devils. I actually research a lot of things on my own time. I dive into hermetics and quantum theories and quantum computing, which is the greatness of understanding, or being able to filtrate the knowledge and information that you get in order to compare and contrast. And it's like kind of like throwing the bones away, but eating the chicken, but not throwing away the baby with the bathwater, as the elders would say. So it's like, what is good, how to make the connection. Holy Spirit, help me. Zzz, we got the static shock of freaking vibration, the magnetic attraction, law of magnetism, some would say, right? Or law of power. Anyways, so gravity. If we're looking at this, then we go back to again Genesis 3 with the serpent. The serpent is not a symbol of life, other than it is a creature that was created from the life giver, who is the creator. Okay? The serpent being a symbol of life is exactly what that means, what I just said. And the way it's produced or projected in the world today as an ideal concept of control, or cognitive subconscious thinking of attachment and detachment from seeing things for what they are, otherwise seeing them as an illusion or something as a false reality. The concept of that true reality in stated being literally is, in essence and the quintessence of it, Lucifer trying to say that he's the creator, and he is not. He's not the creator. Lucifer is a wicked, rebellious angel. That's why we in this shit in the first place, okay? Sin started with him, meaning evil. Thinking apart, you can't think with this. Thinking apart from the will of the creator. He played on Eve's desire to know why they couldn't eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, that fruit. Which is the same reason why, even in his thinking, when he rebelled and persuaded a third of the angels to act with him, and they bound themselves with mutual curses together to make sure that they did it. It's like, yeah, okay, we gonna make sure you actually do it though. You ain't just saying it, so later on you just be gonna go back and tell dad, and you ain't really gonna do it. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a pact, an oath right here. There you go. So even looking at that, you look at all the contracts in the world. As deep as they go for a debt system or an impoverished system, because literally poverty is not knowing or understanding who you are. You can ask the Roman Catholics about this, or the Society of Jesus, the Jesuit order, the Freemasons, Bavarian Illuminati, the ones who reject and fight against the Creator King, Yahusha, Yahuwah, Yahweh, Adonai, Rabboni. Some call him Jesus, but that's a whole nother topic for another day, because Psalm 68 literally completely destroys the whole theory of Isis, Isu, Esau, and ISIS on all types of levels before the 1600s, when the letter J came into existence from playing off of an I. All right. And even tracing back the ancient Semitic and Kemetic, how you say it, hieroglyphic symbology or language of the ancient Greeks and Romans and Hebrews, and even later Aramic and Ethiopic, and all that. Like there's no J in there. Okay, there's a lot of other letters that aren't in their alphabet, as we call alphabet anyway. And it's like alphabet, okay, alpha male, the come on, man. Like it's in the words. Like a bet is like literally like a pact. It's like a proving a point type thing. And there's usually some collateral that's in the midst of that, and you have to pay up, like debt, bet. The debt is true, especially if you choose to claim it as yours and receive it as yours. All right, just like lies or demons. Demons are the spirits of half human, or half mankind, and half angel. Their spirits are roaming in this earth, Ephesians 6, okay? Wicked angels that were cast out of heaven, they were thrown out, they were exiled. This became a prison for them, even in the earth, in the mountains, in the river Euphrates, in the seas, water spirits, okay? In the deserts, in hell, which is a prison, okay? Hell is not the lake of fire. They're two different places, but you got preachers and teaching, or whatever, they're teaching that when you go to hell, you're going to be burning. No, when you go to the lake of fire, that's when you're going to be burning forever. It's called eternal damnation, the fullness of the wrath, the anger, the fury, the fiery fury of the Most High. That's the lake of fire, the second death at the great white throne judgment, okay? But this has become a prison place in our minds, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is, right? And out of the abundance of the heart flow the issues of life. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all you're getting, get understanding. Isaiah 43 through 53 does a huge detailed explanation historically, archaeologically, scientifically, or alchemically, biologically, chemistrically, if that's even a word. It is today for me. Anyways, engineering, engineeringly or technologically, vibration wise, the emission of the how you say that, the dynamo dunamis, um, um, headbutting like longhorn rams and stuff like that, the thunder shock, right? So it's one reality. And when we as people or as the creation can make that connection, because remember he said to the pure all things are pure. So without understanding that knowledge and wisdom and understanding comes forth from the mouth of the creator himself, who came in the flesh, incarnate, fully the creator and fully in control and fully as a creation for himself. He made a body for himself, a way for himself to come in, because it started through blood intercourse, the hymen being broken, and when you have something that's pure that is has become tainted by something that it was not meant to be with. It was not meant to mingle with. It wasn't meant to cleave or attach to. It now becomes impure because it's going against the law of attraction. It's going against the magnetic pull, okay? This is where you get the attractive force in exchange for knowledge, and we can teach you these things, Enoch 1 and the entire rest of the Bible. The book of Y.I.S.L, and we can go on and go on. The book of Jubilees, the book of I mean, you got the writings of Flavius Josephus. You can find it in all the Freemason books where they talk about, okay, Codex Magica, when they talk about their hermetics and going even back to the Egyptian hieroglyphs, and how they do everything by biological chemistry, and how they speak, and teach these traditions of teachings, doctrines, okay, and lessons for religion, and opinionated thoughts according to a personal emotional response because of a cause of effect or affection, and then delivered and projected as one's own understanding, or really an opinion to be like persuasive, is like, yeah, like you know this, right? Like, yeah, orange is orange, man, black is black, but now orange is the new black, right? Orange is the new black. Orange is the new black. No, orange is orange, black is still black. So it's like that still, okay? There's a color separation of differentiation, and even if you want to talk about black, people look at, and I had too, because I was scared of the dark, and many, like what I've been taught growing up and stuff like that too, where darkness is not bad. Genesis 1, read it. It's understanding what darkness is in a state of color, or like a shadow being cast. Because if darkness goes before the Lord, the Master, we know it means Baal and all other kinds of stuff too. But understanding the root of how even Baal came to be as a master of this world over his evil children, the reptilians, the Greys, all kinds of many names that they have for themselves: Aryans, Luciferians, Knights Templar, Christians, Catholics, Presbyterians, Protestants, Islam, Hinduism, atheism, all kinds of different things. Like, and yes, I said Christians, because most Christians don't realize you are literally practicing Freemasonry and many other things. This is where you get the old age theorem or theory, where it's like all these religions mindsets combined together, because it seals your doom, and it also exposes your pride. Now I also want to say this about Christians, because the Greeks in Antioch, in the book of Acts 5, I believe, that called the disciples of the Most High Christians, we are also deemed foolish in this world, according to man's wisdom. Man doesn't have wisdom. Man is foolish without the wisdom of the Almighty Creator in him by his Spirit, okay? So these things are spiritually discerned. If I sat there and broke this down to an atheist who did not desire to know the truth, which only the Most High can give him, he wouldn't be able to understand what the hell I'm saying anyway, at all. It just wouldn't be possible. Here's another thing about hell. Let's go back to the story of Jonah. Jonah, the great fish that was prepared for him, that they called Sheol. Sheol is also the name of the underworld, right? In the earth, or hell, or in the Greek or Romans they would call it Hades. Okay, Now you got to go back to the book of Revelation where you talk about the pale horse where death rode on him, and the death in hate or hell in or death in hate. Let me hold up. Let me read it. I think it's death in Hades followed after the rider on the pale horse, and I think I actually just said it right then. But let me oh, hallelujah. Revelation 6 and 6:8, and I looked and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and the grave followed with him, or some would say in hell or Hades followed with him. Okay, so we know death. Come on, the grave, hell, the grave, right? Also, Abraham's bosom, the holding place, right? I know it's a holding place, and I know it's a grave. I've been there. I don't care what nobody else has to say because you aren't me, and you haven't been where I've been, and you won't be able to understand or relate or make that connection made unless you've been through these things, experience. Okay. Even a vision, when you experience the vision and it comes to pass, you've been there. So it's an actual experience. It's not just projection. Next slide, please. No, it's a real reality of experience. Dream. You ever heard of dream walkers and manifesting the dream, if you will, or the vision? It's say, look at the world, okay? Look at the imaginations of the hearts of men in the world. For example, beautiful explanation. It's freaking deep, bro. It's freaking deep, bro. Okay, but anyway, yeah, death as well. Death is also equated with sleep. The little girl who his father had said that she was dead, he said, she's not dead, she sleeps. Everybody laughed, and he's like, little girl, wake up. You know, after he put everybody out the house. The Messiah did. Hamashiach. Okay? And then you got death is in separation from the Creator, where you find in Genesis chapter 3. You also find, again, Revelation chapter 6, number 8, of, and I looked and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. Okay? And then you got, yeah, so death is a spirit, separation, equated with sleep, and literally like time's up, you're expired, you out of here, real talk. Okay, now dealing with the space of this, the extent or the area of content or discussion that we can dialogue in this room that we're in, okay, to do something in the period of time that we've been given to do, like redeeming the time, right? This is where you get the Great Commission or testifying of the truth, which Yahusha, some say Yeshua, or some say Yahweh or Yahuwah. Like, you got to go deep. You know what I'm saying? You could say Yod He Vav He. You could say Yakaved. You could say Yehovah. Like, there's a lot of details in there, and again, you got to keep in mind that we're dealing with identity crisis here, right? So when somebody's taking your identity to use it, how they want to use it, and then you be like, hold up, I didn't buy this car. I don't even have a freaking license. So how can I be driving this? And I've never bought a car. Just because the person tries to use the same name doesn't mean it's me. So in a court of law, right? Or how you say, natural law, common law, marine or maritime law, and canon law, you have to be able to. It's like a you're being judged. It's like proving your innocency, or you're guilty till proven innocent, right? As they say. So even dealing with the chosen people, which are Hebrew people, right? Black people. Not all black people are Hebrews, and understand that too. And to understand that, you have to go back to understanding the transatlantic slave trade that still goes on today, and you find that from the book of Revelation, the entire book of Revelation, going back to Daniel, and even back to the book of Genesis, to understand it, and all the books that they took out that is being revealed and put back in place in right connection today. I apologize if I'm speaking fast for people or too fast for people. I'm kind of trying to speed up because I'm limited on time and I'm almost completely done trying to cover a lot of ground, right? Travel. Um, so yeah, the distance interval, as they would say, some of it, as people would say anyway. Feel like freaking Ace Ventura, man. Um, yeah. So also, oh yeah, Project Bluebeam. We know that it is written that Lucifer and his angels, his false prophets and stuff like that, they would do false signs and miracles, right? And how the Father in heaven literally said that there will be signs and wonders in the heavens and in the earth. Okay, Matthew 24 from wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, famines, pestilences, cataclysms, weather, disasters, all kind of stuff. Then you got Project Bluebeam and Project Harp, which is a weather manipulation system and war program, or some can use it as like bio warfare or chemical warfare. But anyway, nonetheless, it is one way for false miracles of Lucifer and wicked angels to do through mankind. They influence mankind. Man has made pacts with demons since the beginning of time, and you can find this in every freaking religion that there is to know. So if I seem religious to anybody, then you will know that my religion is true. I'm not projecting religion. I'm just projecting truth because I don't associate myself with the title of being religious or being a Christian. I just know that the Spirit of the Father is with me and is teaching me all things as He said He is going to do and will do for all of His children, and pouring out His Spirit, like you can find in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 28, and in many other places. Also, you cannot say that you're a child of His if you're not doing what He asked you to do, because you have work to do as well. John 14. Okay, and in the beginning, the Word was Yah, and the Word was with Yah, and the Word became flesh. He came in the flesh. He was lynched. He was also, if He has hand or holes and stuff in His hands, because He was plastered to the tree at the same time. There was always a cross burning before a lynching. Okay, Albert Pike, leader of the KKK, you already know. Even with the Black Panther movement, there's same thing: Black KKK, black supremacy. But the transatlantic slave trade, time of antiquities, the Dark Ages, the Renaissance period is a time where they were killing disciples of the Most High. And this is where you get mass confusion and rewriting and changing laws and times, as written in the book of Daniel, and emerging of kingdoms, and even the rising again of the Roman Empire, when it was wounded, and it even killed off 10 of its own kinds of people in their tribes back in the day. So remember, the entire Bible from front to finish is literally talked about in past, present, and future. You just have to understand and have the discernment of the Holy Spirit Himself, or the set apart Spirit Himself, and consecrating yourself, which meaning literally separating yourself for the master's use, okay? And being able to get the understanding of these things and the correct interpretation. This is why He presented prophets and preachers and evangelists and teachers and all that good stuff in the giftings and stuff. Tongues still exist. Every man began to speak with their own tongue, but there's also a heavenly tongue, which only the Father, like the Father, communicates within Himself for His perfect will to be done. Manifest is all I can say. Expect this year to be more deadly in judgments that are being released in this earth than the year before. Off the charts, everything on every level. We've been in the last days since the Father came on the earth. Okay, in the flesh 2 days ago. 1,000 years is one day unto the Lord, and one day is 1,000 years unto Him. So none of you are creators. I'm not a creator. He is the creator. There's only one. So that's the difference between all the gods in the world and kings and lords or masters and stuff like that, is because He is the only one creator in the position of authority and power and dominion, just like He gave Adam and Eve, also being an eternal life, which connects with John 3:16. And is it not written in your law that I said you are gods, but in the son, and all of you the sons of the Most High, but you will die like men. So understanding non-religiously what it means to be a god and what a god is in a position of authority, and dominion, and also being in an eternal state. Man was created with immortal soul, created in the image and likeness of the Most High. So therefore, masculine and feminine energy both came into being at the same time, as He called us into being, because He is a nurturer, Yod He Vav He, to nurse the nursing one, like grabbing a tit, as it was spoken to me. But He's a nurturer. He's a healer. He's a a corrector, an instructor, a judge, the one who gives and the one who taketh away. He's been doing judgments freaking since Adam and Eve. So, it's only been increasing in the day that is his day. World War III exists. It's called the Battle of Armageddon. Satan or Lucifer, the demons, they're and wicked angels, they're building their army, and this is where you get all these different robot, so-called AI, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is nothing other than you're using false information and projecting it to be true when it's a lie. So therefore, it's artificial because you're taking away from the truth, and you can't even understand the truth because you're separated from it. Darkness cannot comprehend the light, so that's why the light was separated from the darkness from the beginning. Some were created for destruction. Why? Because they were brought in, he allowed them to come into being for a purpose. The wicked will destroy the wicked. But reconciliation and preaching the gospel to all creation doesn't mean just speaking to mankind. All creation means all creation. Okay, he spoke to the fig tree. He spoke to the sea, to the storm. He spoke to mankind. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a reason he did these things. He said, if you don't eat of my flesh and drink of my blood, you will have no part with me. Okay, so therefore, he spoke to these people in their own language, because you got people sacrificing, eating each other and all kinds of crap, and they still don't understand what the hell they're talking about. This goes into hermeneutics and symbols and understanding what they mean. Then you also got to deal with the fact where being born again literally means coming forth from his spirit. Dying for you will be like waking up for sleep. Hallelujah.